I'm going to show you what's happening here because, of course, that trek of Irma that it took right across the Leeward Islands, eventually just north of Puerto Rico. That's where we had Georgia, of course, stationed right there, and then north of the Dominican Republic. That's a track we saw last week. Look at this with what is now Maria. We expect this to strengthen dramatically over the next 24 hours, going from a 1 potentially to a Category 3. That would be a major hurricane, and notice kind of parallels that track of Irma and eventually pushes right through Puerto Rico on into portions of the Turks and Caicos, where we know a Category 5 landfall was made last week with Irma. A Category 3 could be made again going into this week. And want to show you this because at this point doesn't look very organized, doesn't look very strong, but this is precisely where we saw where Irma went from a Cat 1 to a Cat 3 overnight. This is what the National Hurricane Center expects across this very warm body of water for this storm system to do, rapid intensification. And notice inside the next 3 days, we're talking 10, 15, some areas 20 inches of rainfall. This is far more water than what Irma had to offer. Irma was predominantly a wind event with this, and this could be both wind and rain. And notice high concentration of the models taken in right towards Puerto Rico, make that right turn into the Turks and Caicos, and beyond that we think a northerly track would be at least initially away from the United States. But this is the area of concern right now. From Dominica towards Guadeloupe, work your way into Antigua and Barbuda. That's an area we think could be spared from the hardest hit, which Irma, of course, had a northerly track. This storm takes more of a southerly track into the southern Leeward Islands. And then beyond that, we watch this very carefully because notice as we go in from Tuesday night into Wednesday, a Category 4 landfall potentially right there across eastern Puerto Rico with a storm system. And then it kind of skirts right across the island of Hispaniola, very mountainous islands across this region. If this makes direct landfall across that area, this could weaken the storm. But at this point, the National Hurricane Center believes this could remain a Category 4, potentially down to a Category 3 as it goes over Turks and Caicos, which would be devastating for an area that was already very hard hit just about a week ago. So this is an area we're watching carefully and want to show you how this plays out as we go in over the next couple of days, because beyond that, both the American and the European model, keep in mind the European indicated in blue, did a fantastic job as far as its location was forecasting with a right turn over portions of Cuba towards southern Florida. Right now, they make that right turn and bring it in off the eastern United States. It is about 7 days out before we get to that point, so a lot could change. But of course, that is uncomfortably close for what would be a significant storm if it makes it to that point.